Okay, thanks to Jan for this question, interesting question. What is the definition of the flamenco guitar sound before Paco de Lucia? Because you know that he changed things from the Cypress guitar to the Negra guitar, and now he's changing these fretboard and many things to the same spirit. So to evolve, because we are not in 1975, we are in 2014, right? And things changed, right? Plus that was the direction he pointed out to follow. So that's what we're doing, and that's what they're doing, and that's what everybody who likes to learn this thing is doing. Now, this is interesting because you said that what is the definition of the flamenco guitar sound before Paco de Lucia? Well, you see that Sabicas played Barbero guitars. So the definition of the flamenco sound before Paco was that, Marcelo Barbero. Barbero and Santos Hernandez, for example. Right? Then there are some great guitars of other makers, but the thing is that as definition of flamenco sound, the Marcelo Barbero guitar is one point of reference. And then from there, of course, Santos Hernandez flamenco guitar is also a definition of flamenco sound. That's why in this work, which implies the next step in the evolution of the flamenco guitar contemporary 2014, because we are not in 1920, nor we are in 1975, or in the 90s. We are not even in the 90s, right? Or in the 80s. We are in 2014. And therefore, things updated to this point. For example, this Santos Hernandez 1927 is based, have some principles of that original guitar, Santos Hernandez 1927, like thicknesses, the very shape or plantilla of the guitar. That is, this is the way it travels the sound. When this changes, if the plantilla, the shape of the top is different, it will change also the way that the wave of sound travels. The sound travels there inside, then the sound portal, and many other things. So, but of course, it's not excluded that definition of the flamenco sound, but it has a plus. It's that plus the innovative stuff, plus the maple fretboard, plus the maple bridge, plus the sound portal that in flamenco they introduced this thing, right? And all these are part of the new stuff, but it's based on the past. But on the past means on the sound which is defined, or which defines flamenco guitars before, were of course Barbero and Santos Hernandez. And that's why the abanicos, the bracings, and these. Right? Like nowadays there are some people trying to imitate Greg Smallman from Australia, putting kind of square shapes there of wood instead of, this guy doesn't even know that the Smallman design is with carbon fiber, right? Not with that, and it's a very specific top because it has 0.5 of thickness in the top, and it's a totally different instrument, right? That's of course is a mistake. In fact, those are bending, etc. But that's another topic. The thing is that the definition of flamenco guitar means Marcelo Barbero. That's what, in fact, you listen to Sabicas playing in records or live, and you will see that he was playing all the guitars as well. He played Ramirez and any other thing, but really, the Barbero was the sound that defined flamenco. And then therefore, nowadays there is also a Marcelo Barbero updated, means that plus what we can do in 2014 with the help and with the advice and following the spirit of Paco de Lucia, who reinvented flamenco guitar and reinvented the way the guitar is really. Also the measurements, because by changing the postures, just that, it changed everything. Right? Like playing before Paco was everything with cejilla, with cape, and now many things are without, so that also changed, right? And then if the golpe is not nailed, it changed as well, right? But yes, that's what I will post some relevant links to that. But thank you to Jan for coming and for also asking such an interesting thing, because this is one of the very few things which were not answered in the magazine. I hope that possibly we cover every question, from how to put a string, to which string to put and why, and how to change the effect, or how the guitar becomes softer or with more tension because of the knot or the angle, etc. Many details there, but yeah, really speaking that. And of course, if you have seen the Barbero original, I have seen 3 or 4 in my life. Those are very rare, and some of them are very few only, and it has to be taken care of. It's a very delicate thing, right? Because it's from 1940, really. Right? So those best things of those guitars, it still exists here, but plus the new thing, and then that's why this is the present and the future, and the other thing is the past. And in fact, Paco abandoned that because he did not play it. He changed it to Barbero, from Barbero to Negra style, and then, for example, Hernandez made some, and then he also had that and played at home. I will also post the description of this video. So certainly it's not Conde the definition of the flamenco guitar. In fact, that's a guitar that Paco likes less, the one that he played always on the stage. That I always post anyway in the video, and then you can see it there on the description from one link, the newspaper advice, which is like the New York Times here. So that's a point that you need to understand the evolution in the history. But now it's not 1975 or the 90s, so we're in 2014. And therefore, redefining and innovating, it always implies and has on it to challenge the way we think we know things. And that's why it amazes us, innovation, because we need that to feel alive. Otherwise we'll become a petrified museum stuff, right? All dusty old thing. And art, and Luther certainly as an art, it should not be stuck there in the past, right? Go towards the future. So Paco did avoid the cypress, changed to Negra, and in the way changed the measurements of the bridge distance, the way the action works, the way the top works, many things. And then, of course, it's very important to understand this historical change and the reason why also to not be confused. I will post all the relevant links at the description of this video. Thank you, and I see you next time.